Hi, welcome to Bikini Design Club.
Hi everyone, today we will be making the Bikini Bottom. I'm gonna do on an XL size. It's for an order that I had. So I'm gonna start by assembling my pattern that maybe you already downloaded from our website. It's bikinidesignclub.com. I will use the more coverage option in front and also for the back. So this option here. And so let's start. So my pattern is ready. This is my back piece and this is my front. For the front, we should use the fold line to cut the entire front in one piece. For the back, in this case, since the middle of our bottom piece is curved, we do not have a fold line. So we must cut our right cheek, our left cheek, and the same for the lining. So I will use my yellow fabric and this lemon fabric for the other sides. So let's start by cutting our fabric. If you need some help regarding the materials that we need, I will have a video with the basic supplies that you need to sew your own swimwear. To cut both of our back pieces, instead of cutting twice, I use the fold of the fabric, so when I'm cutting, I'm already cutting 2 layers of fabric. It makes it easier for me, and also I make sure like this, I make sure that both sides are exactly the same. When you have a fabric that has lemons or stripes or whatever, you have to decide in which way you want your print to be once your piece is done. So in this case I decided that I wanted my lemons to my bottom to be like this, so with lemons like facing up. Actually no, I want them downwards, so I'm gonna do it like this. And then the other thing that you need to take into consideration is that here on the fold line you must be sure that you are following the vertical lines from the print. Otherwise you will have your print very awkward once your bottom is done. For the back part, if you see, you don't have on the pattern any vertical line. So to make sure that my back side is also vertical, for instance, I can use the area where we have cutted our pattern piece and then stapled with tape or whatever. You can check that this line, this horizontal line, is perpendicular to your stripes. So this is a way for me to make sure that my pattern, my print, will be vertical. So now we have the 2 fronts and the 4 pieces for the back. My customer didn't want the reversible to be worn on the yellow side, so I will not insert another layer of fabric like a lining inside, so that it's not transparent, because she will only use this bikini on the lemons side. So she told me not to add any additional layer. If you would want to use additional layer, you should place the layer in between the 2 layers that you want to come to the outside. So the first step now is to unite both back pieces from one side to the other. So we will do that for the lining here and also for the self fabric here. So let's pin these 2 areas and let's sew.
Now let's place right sides facing together, front and back, for the self fabric and also for the linen, and let's sew the crotch area. Once this is done, place right sides facing together, pin both leg holes and sew. If you have seen my previous videos, you know that I always leave a little bit without elastic in the beginning and a little bit without elastic also in the end. And I always put the elastic on my self fabric. We are only missing the sides and the top. So now let's sew the sides. Right sides facing together from the fabric. Align both sides, and usually I hand stitch. So you'll see me doing it very carefully to make sure that the seams are aligned once my bottom is ready. I only sew the area of the seam, the rest I pin, and we are ready to go to our sewing machine.
So if this is a reversible bottom, now we are just missing the top parts and it's done. And we have the sides already done. So what can we do if this is not to be worn as reversible? In this case, my client doesn't want this reversible. So to make sure that my lining piece stays exactly where I want it and doesn't unfold like this or something, to make sure I will do a zigzag stitch on my regular machine, opening the fabric like this and putting your seam towards the lining piece. I'm gonna do since more or less here, I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch all the way around here on both holes, leg holes, and this will make sure that my lining will keep in place. But as I told you, this is optional, and if this is a reversible piece, don't do this part. Now, as you can see, I've already done in both leg holes all around, so the zigzag stitch is here and you cannot see it on the outside, and this will make sure that my lining piece will stay always hidden. Okay, so now let's do the top and finish our bottoms. So what we will do, we will grab this and this, both sides will stay together, right? So both, and you tuck everything inside, holding those two layers, okay? Then again, you can use your hand stitch to secure the seams on the same place if you want to match them and make sure that they are aligned here in the middle of your back. And then you grabbing only two layers, you will pin some areas here to make sure that it stays where you want it to be. And then you will come until, I usually start by the sides, so only two layers, okay? And you will put your seam to the same sides again. And again, if you want, you can hand stitch a little bit here. I'm gonna do it in a minute. Here. And I'm gonna start by here, and then we are going to go around to the overlock machine. We will pull through the side hole and we will go in one time all around.
Don't forget, when going to the machine, to place your self fabric facing up and to place the elastic on that side.
Now that we've done our waist area, trim if you have threads that you don't want. Of course, it's better to clean your mess, and then look for the small hole that we've got on the back piece and reverse the piece to the correct side, and it's done. Then you have to, of course, close the hole and it's ready.
And that's it for today. Hope to see you again soon, so please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.